Oh, hello. Welcome to another edition of Tech Tuesday, presented by Delta Media Group, where it's not the clown we have a problem with, it's that balloon man. I'm told that down here we all float. So today, we're going to jump into the DeltaNet and take a look at the customer review system. We've added some new things to it, but mainly I wanted to go over this video again because it's been a while, and we haven't really taken a look at the customer review system, and we've made a handful of changes to it, so I wanted to give you an updated look at it. So let's jump into the DeltaNet and take a look. All right, so to get to customer reviews, we're going to scroll down here to Marketing and Reviews. There we go. So from here, this is kind of our main customer reviews interface. So you have here any review that needs reviewed will show up under this tab. You can see right now we don't have any, but we will in a moment. The next thing we have is approved. So these are all the ones that we've gone in and approved before, along with a link to where our customer reviews page actually is on the website so that we can get there quickly and see what they look like there. And lastly, any that we've disapproved. So the way the system works is if you are allowing the submission reviews on the reviews page itself, if one of your customers goes there and submits a review, you'll get an email that notifies you that you have a pending review. So then you can go in here. The link, well actually the email itself that notifies you will have a link in it that'll take you into this page where you'll see that review under needs reviewed and you can approve it. So let's go ahead and create a review. We're going to add one manually through the back end here because we can do that. So we'll click on Add New Review. First name, you don't really need a last name. First name is really all that's required in here. Email address you can also put in, but again is optional. You can determine how you interacted with this client. They have the same option if they submit the review on the public side. So we'll say buying, and then I could also mark them as a commercial client. That is a relatively new option there. So if you're less interested in buying or selling and just want to indicate that this was a commercial client, you can do that. Star rating, if you have that system turned on, there is a switch under settings to turn that on or off. If it is turned on, you must put one in here. So 5 stars, of course. So we'll go ahead and put in our review, and then we can put in the submission date. Now, the significance of the submission date is you can choose whether or not you show this on the public side. If you are showing it, you'll want to set it to whatever date they actually submitted it, or it'll set itself to the current day, so you can just leave it on the current day if you want. And then the reviews will sort themselves on that page by their submitted date. So now you can also turn this off. So let's say you're entering a lot of old reviews, or you're moving to our platform and you have a lot of reviews elsewhere you're putting in here manually. You don't have to put these dates on them, and you don't have to display the dates. So for now, we'll just go ahead and leave it on the current date, but if I wanted to change it, I would click there and get my calendar here. One cool thing about this calendar is I can click on the month, and you can see it spreads out to months, and then I can click on the year, and I can spread out to years. So it's an easy way that I can jump to dates that might have been, a couple years ago, a few months ago, things like that. I think that is actually specific to Chrome, though. So once your review is all set, we'll hit Save. That saves the review. And then in this case, there we go, you can see that it automatically jumped over to approved. That's happening because of a company-wide setting or a company-level setting that is setting reviews that are over 4 stars to automatically be approved. If that were turned off, that review would have dropped into needs approved or needs reviewed, and we would have had an option to edit it, approve it, or deny it. So if we go over here, you can see we can now disapprove any approved review, which would move it over to disapproved over here. And now it's in disapproved. Or we can edit it. So if I click on edit, we now have the options to change that review. Or I can delete it. So if I go back to disapproved, I have that delete option too. And I also have that under approved. So you can see there's a lot of control in here where you can change the reviews up a little bit if you need to. You can move them back from approved and disapproved as you choose. So the idea is that if the company level setting isn't set to auto approve these, it won't actually post anything till you go in and actually approve it. And by post anything, I mean, show up publicly in your review system. So that's the gist of the creation of a review and how you'll interact with reviews that come in, through natural means. So the next thing, we'll go over here under settings, and you can see we have a handful of system settings specific to our review system. So from here, I have a public header, so this is what will show up at the top of the reviews page. We have this full WYSIWYG editor, so this is the same page editor we have on the custom pages and in the bio paragraph, the paragraph about you. So I can go in here and I can change formatting. This is my reviews page. So I can change things like color. There we go. I can change formatting. I can change font. Comic Sans. You can never go wrong with Comic Sans, right? Make it a little bit bigger. I can turn it into a link. I can add pictures here. So if I go here and add a picture, I'm going to click on our little picture button. See what kind of pictures I have in here. So now we have a picture. We can resize it. So you have a lot of options here as to what you can do. I could even turn this picture into a link. So like I said, this is just the the same paragraph editor or the same WYSIWYG editor that we have attached to all the other custom content in here. So once I have that set up the way I want, I can go down here and save it, and that'll save what appears at the top of this page. But we'll go ahead and look through the other settings before we save it in this case. The next thing, I can choose whether or not the submission form shows up on my reviews page. So if I want the control to enter my reviews manually, say I just email my customers and ask them for a review, and they send one over to me and then I go in and enter it, I can do it that way. If I want to just send them a link to my reviews page and let them put it in themselves, I can turn that to yes, and then that'll turn on that review submission form. With that turned on, we get an additional option down here where we can control the thank you page that they go to. So when they fill out that form and submit it, this will be kind of the confirmation page that it takes them to. So I can customize that. Again, same options as the editor up here. So we move on down. We have, this is where we can choose whether or not that submitted date shows. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. Why not? If you're using a theme or a modular theme that has support for rotating testimonials on the home page, and you just have to kind of go through the different reviews, and there's a little bit of a description on each one also that says kind of its capabilities. But when you set up your homepage theme, if you're using one that has that reviews submission form that supports rotating testimonials, this is where you would control whether or not those will rotate. So you can turn that on or off. We have the rating system, so what we had talked about there, this is where we can turn that on or off, and also where we can control, so the company can set it, kind of override it to allow the 4+ star ratings to auto-approve, and then you can also control it here if that's turned on. So if I turn this off, now even if a review comes in that's over 4 stars, the system won't auto-approve it. It'll still notify me, and I'll still have to go in and approve it manually. The star rating system, I can turn that on and off, and then I can even change the star color, and this would just be on the reviews page itself what color those stars are. So we'll go ahead and change it a little bit because why not? Blue stars. I like blue stars. There we go. So the next thing I can do here is I can pull my Zillow reviews into this system. Now keep in mind it just pulls them in for display, so we can't store those reviews, and it can only grab the last 10. But it pulls those in and stores them, or it doesn't store them. It pulls those in and displays them on my reviews page. It also just replaces a snippet of that Zillow review. But if you did want to set this up, you just need to put your Zillow screen name here and then switch this Show Zillow Reviews to Yes. So if I wanted to do that, just to give you an example, I happen to have Zillow open here with just a little test account. When I first get to Zillow, in fact, let me just go to their homepage. So if you go there and you're logged into your account, if you go up to Agent Hub and then down to Profile, and then scroll down here under Professional Information, you have Screen Name as one of the options there. So you would just copy that screen name. It's not going to let me double click to grab it, is it? There we go. And then go back into the DeltaNet. I can paste that right here. And then I would change that to yes. And then when I save that, it'll pull in any reviews from my Zillow account and also display those on my reviews page. And then lastly, if you have a reviews system set up through Real Satisfied, you can use your vanity key there. And that's kind of specific, so if you have any questions about that, just let us know. And we can help you get a hold of where you can get that vanity key. It's actually part of the URL on your reviews page. But that works very similar to Zillow. You would just paste it in there, switch that to yes, and then we would be able to pull those in and display those among your reviews also. So once you're all set here, we'll click on Save. There we go. We can see our settings have been updated. And now if I go over to my custom reviews page, which for convenience sake I already have open, I still have my name pretty green there too. Nothing wrong with green, right? So now if we look down here, you can see the changes that I made to the intro paragraph or the intro section are here. You can see it butted right up against this spot, so you'd want to put some spaces after a picture if you put those in there. We can see the submission form also appeared on this page. So if I'm a customer, I can fill this out, put in my star rating, say that I'm not a robot, and then send through my testimonials that way. And then all of my approved reviews are showing up here on this page also. Now on this account, I'm not sure. Let's go to the home page and take a look. Here we are. So I am using a theme that allows for the customer reviews on the home page to kind of rotate. So if I had that turned on, this panel would be automatically rotating through reviews just every few seconds or so. And then I can also go through here and I can rotate through them manually. So that's a pretty cool way to display your reviews there on your home page. Now, the last piece of reviews is adding a link to your site. So you can see along the top navigation, let's say we wanted to add a link up there for it. We've configured our review system on the actual reviews page, but if we want to add a link to it to the navigation, we would do that under Website and Pages. And now from here, I probably already have one. There we are, so you can see customer reviews right there, and it's set among the top links. If I didn't have one, I would click on New Page, and I would go to Predefined, and then I would select Custom Reviews as my predefined page. So there we are, Custom Reviews, Advanced Sites Only, and this is the whole customer review system is available to just upgraded agent sites. And then I would put in a link title, and that's what people will click on to get to this page. So I can just make that customer reviews, or if I wanted to customize that a little bit, I can do that also. So I could put something like My Rave Reviews here. And then that's what would appear and what people would click on in my navigation to get to my reviews page. And I'll just hit navigation menu if I want to add it to the navigation menu. I can put in my meta keywords tags, and I can even put in the information that we've recently added that would automatically add them to a campaign or add a customer to the campaign if they came in on this page. So if they're logged in and visit this page, actually they get added. So, I could have a reviews email campaign that I set up in here, and if I check that, anybody who visits my reviews page while they're logged into their portfolio account will automatically be added into that campaign. So that's kind of cool. And then once I'm done there, I'll just hit Update Page. And now, if I scroll down to my navigation menu here at the bottom, you can see My Rave Reviews is now one of the options here. And I can drag that out. See, my existing customer reviews page is under Meet, so we'll go ahead and nest it under there. So that'll put it in a drop-down menu under Meet. Save. Now if we go back over here and refresh my page, you can see under Meet we have My Rave Reviews. I click on it, and there's my reviews page. So there you have it. That is the customer review system. Oh, I'm going to add one more piece. I nearly forgot. So the other thing you can do with reviews is, and we're adding more and more things where systems integrate with each other, where things work together. But if you are using Facebook Auto Connector, if I go down to Facebook and Post Tools, you can see we also have an option. Now we have other videos on setting up Facebook Auto Connector, but if you're set up and signed into your Facebook Auto Connector account, so you went here, signed up, hooked your account up, one of the options here is, wait for it, there we are, customer reviews. So what this system can do is you can turn this on, and if you're using the rest of the review system and you have Facebook Auto Connector turned on and you're signed into your account, everything's hooked up there, you can have the system automatically post your reviews to your Facebook page as they come in. So that is what this is set up to do. You just switch this to on, set your post frequency to the maximum number of reviews you would like this thing to be able to post per day. So, if, for example, you're going to enter 20 old reviews and go in and put them in manually, then you might want to limit this to, say, 1 or 2 per day. That way it doesn't post all 20 to your Facebook page the day that you put them all in. And you can see I had this set to manually post. So this will kind of queue them all up, and then I could go in and manually push them to my Facebook page from here if I want. So there you have it. And then like the other Facebook Auto Connector options, you can choose to delete them after a certain amount of time or leave it to 0, and they'll just stay there forever. And you can also modify the template a little bit. So here's the text that goes along with the posting for your review. But you can also click on Edit here, and you could create a new template for that with whatever text you'd like to use. So there you go. That is the customer review system in total. I don't think there's anything I missed there. We've been adding a lot of pieces and adding a lot of interconnections in the system so that one piece can really work with another piece, and you can really build out kind of a whole workflow and a whole platform with it. So there you have it. So as always, thanks a lot for joining me this week, And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to comment on any of our videos or send an email into support@deltagroup.com, or just give us a call and we'll be happy to talk to you. So, thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you again next week.